I have here a Galaxy Note 10 Plus. This device was released in 2019 and the battery is not good now. So this is still the original battery that came with the device and I'm going to replace that battery today. I started to hit the back of the device on the highest setting on my heat gun for at least 1 to 2 minutes. After that, I tried to use a suction cup, but it is not working. So the next step to start removing the back of this device is to use a metal tool to start removing the back of the device. By using a metal tool, I'm going to have a small opening where I can start to insert my tools in. The first try didn't work, so I had to hit the back of the device once again in order to have that section of the device at a good temperature. And I will start again to use my metal tool to continue removing the lower section of the back glass. Once we have a small opening, we need to take our tool and run it to the bottom portion of the back glass. We went through the lower section of the device easily because the temperature of the device is good and the double-sided tape is very soft at this moment. And then we started to go through the left side of the device and continue to run our tool on that side. So near the camera, I made sure that I did not insert the tool far inside in order to avoid striking the cameras. I put my smallest suction cup at the lowest portion of the device to have a placeholder. This is going to help me avoid the back glass to stick on the body of the device once again. After that, I took my favorite tool, my grain scalpel, and started to remove the right side of the back glass that is still stuck on the body of the device. As you saw it, if the device is not in the good temperature, if you put your tool in, the glass is going to crack. I had only the top portion of the back glass untouched, so after hitting that area, I can just take the back glass out of the device. As you saw it, the back is out, everything went well. Before we can access the battery of this device, we need to clean the device to remove all the double-sided tape that is still remaining on the body of the device, and after that, we can use our tool to remove all the screws that we can see. All the screws removed, we need to remove the wireless charging coil, which is a little bit attached to the charging module. It is only attached by double-sided tape. So to remove the wireless charging coil, you just need to pull it and it is going to come off. The battery being the most important cable in a repair scenario, you need to disconnect the battery first before starting to disconnect any other flex cable that you have on your device. The three main flex cables disconnected at the motherboard and at the charging module. The screen flex cable is attached to the screen and cannot be removed. So while hitting the screen of the device, in order to have the double-sided tape on the back of the battery soften, make sure that you take into account the screen flex cable. You do not want to damage that. If it gets a little bit of a damage, you will change the screen of this device. The screen was heated for at least 1 to 2 minutes on the lowest setting on my heat gun. After that, I inserted my tool in the right side of the device because that's where I saw a little bit of a gap where my tool can fit. So after the first try with the tool, I saw that the battery is not moving, so I needed to hit the screen of the device once again. You need to know that using a metal tool while removing a battery can be very dangerous. So while I am pulling on the battery, I do not exert all my strength. I pull just a little bit for the battery to start moving. You do not need to pull with all your strength. Avoid using any sharp object. You're going to puncture the battery and start a fire. It can be very dangerous and you're going to get injured and lose your device. Right now my metal tool is inside between the battery and the frame of the device, so the battery started to move a little bit. So that's when I took my plastic tool and started to pull with the plastic tool. I recommend that you do this type of repair with a plastic tool. It is much safer. Just in case you puncture the battery, at least you won't technically have a fire. One tool is inserted between the battery and the frame of the device, while the other tool pull on the battery. At this moment, if it was the S22 Ultra or the S21 Ultra and those variation, the battery can be removed by brute force. The older Samsung batteries are softer, that is why I'm using heat to soften the back of the battery once again, so that I can have at least half of the battery removed, detached from the frame of the device, and then start to pull on the battery and remove it safely. The battery is completely out of the device now. It is a little bit bent at the bottom right. So this is how you safely remove the battery out of a Samsung Galaxy Note 10 Plus. So in case you need to reuse the battery, you can just apply a little bit of force on the lower portion where the battery is slightly bent. It is going to go back to its original position. Also, before installation of the new battery, you need to clean the old double-sided tape that will still be on the frame of the device. So for the battery that I have, I'm going to remove some of the double-sided tape that are not straight or flat. This is going to help the battery to be sitting flat inside the device. Also, you might have the question of, is this battery or the screen still in good shape after using the heat to remove the battery? At the end of this video, you're going to see if the screen is still good. So you saw it before. At the start of this video, the back glass of this device was broken. So we need to install a new back glass on this device. This is what I'm going to do now. So the chances to have your back glass crack while you try to replace the battery on your device is very high. This is why I'm doing a back glass replacement at the same time. This small shiny stuff that you saw on the double-sided tape is a little bit of B7000 that I added on top of the double-sided tape. This is going to help the double-sided tape stick firmly onto the back of the back glass and on the frame of the device. When everything is good, the back glass has been attached properly to the back of the device and there is no misalignment, anything out of normal, you can start to apply pressure with your fingers. I used a combination of professional clamps and paper binding clamps. You can get the paper binding clamps anywhere. The professional clamps are also not so expensive. I recommend that you use the clamps for at least 10 to 15 minutes before removing them and inspecting the device for a second time. The reinstallation of your old back glass, if it was not cracked, is also very easy. You can either buy a set of double-sided tape that will go on the Note 10 Plus, or you can use B7000 as a double-sided tape glue that is going to seal the back of your device. I think the results are excellent in what I did with the Note 10 Plus. Thank you guys for watching. If you like these kind of tutorials, I have a lot of Samsung's tutorial on my channel. Subscribe, like and share. Airspeed Electronic Repair Solutions.